The CNN studio buzzed with anticipation, its bright lights casting stark shadows across the sleek, modern set. The air was thick with the kind of electric energy that only a live television event could generate. This wasn't just another town hall. It was a special broadcast, a high-stakes discussion on criminal justice reform, a topic that had divided America for decades. At the center of the stage sat two formidable figures. Judge Judy, the television icon whose no-nonsense courtroom show had made her a household name, and Senator John Kennedy, the Republican from Louisiana, known for his sharp wit and folksy charm. The audience, a mix of policy wonks, political junkies, and curious viewers, leaned forward in their seats, sensing that something monumental was about to unfold. Host Anderson Cooper, with his trademark calm demeanor, introduced the guests, his voice steady, but unable to mask the undercurrent of tension. Tonight, we have two individuals who bring unique perspectives to the table. He began, gesturing toward Judge Judy. Judge Judy Sheindlin, a cultural institution whose decades in courtrooms, both real and televised, have shaped how millions view justice. Then, turning to Kennedy, he continued, and Senator John Kennedy, a seasoned lawmaker from Louisiana, known for his incisive commentary on policy and governance. The crowd applauded politely, but their eyes were locked on the two guests, waiting for the first spark. The discussion began civilly enough. Anderson Cooper posed a broad question about the state of America's criminal justice system, asking how to balance public safety with fairness. Judge Judy, her posture ramrod straight, spoke first. At 81, she carried the authority of someone who had spent 25 years as a New York family court judge before becoming a television titan. Her voice was sharp, cutting through the studio like a blade. "Justice is about consequences," she declared, her eyes scanning the audience as if addressing a courtroom. "For too long, we've coddled criminals, made excuses for bad behavior, and let people off with a slap on the wrist. If you commit a crime, you pay the price. That's how you keep communities safe." Her words were met with nods from some audience members, particularly those who admired her tough-on-crime stance. She leaned back, confident, her hands folded neatly in her lap, as if daring anyone to challenge her. Senator Kennedy, by contrast, took a different approach. At 74, he was no stranger to heated debates, having served in the Senate since 2017 after years as Louisiana's state treasurer. His southern drawl and knack for colorful metaphors had earned him a reputation as a communicator who could distill complex issues into relatable terms. When he spoke, his tone was measured, almost conversational, but his words carried weight. "Now, I agree with Judge Judy that consequences matter," he began, tipping his head slightly toward her. "But we've got to ask ourselves, is the system working as it should? We're locking up folks at a rate higher than most countries, and yet crime hasn't disappeared. Maybe it's time we look at why people end up in the system in the first place: poverty, lack of opportunity, broken schools. Punishment's part of the equation, but it's not the whole answer." His response drew murmurs of approval from a different segment of the audience, those who saw criminal justice reform as a way to address systemic issues. For the first few minutes, the exchange remained professional, even if the ideological divide was clear. Judge Judy advocated for stricter sentencing and personal accountability, drawing on her decades of courtroom experience. Kennedy countered with a broader perspective, emphasizing prevention and rehabilitation alongside punishment. Anderson Cooper, sensing the potential for deeper conflict, steered the conversation toward a more contentious issue: sentencing disparities in drug-related crimes. He turned to Kennedy first. "Senator, there's data showing that Black and Hispanic defendants often receive harsher sentences than white defendants for similar drug offenses. How do you address that in the context of reform?" Kennedy leaned forward, his elbows resting on the table, his expression serious, but composed. "That's a real problem, Anderson," he said. "The numbers don't lie. If you've got two